There's Riggs on the pole. Next to chaser Casey Kane. The drivers highlighted in yellow are the 10 men in the chase for the Nextel Cup.
In row 2 on the inside, Casey Mears going for the win last night and crashed with a few laps to go. Elliott Stadler, another Evernham car on the outside.
In row 3, 2 chasers, teammates Kevin Harvick and championship leader Jeff Burton.
Mark Martin inside of row 4, only 10 points out of the lead in the chase for the Nextel Cup. Clint Boyer, another RC car on the outside.
Row 5, Reed Sorensen and Jimmy Johnson chasing the Nextel Cup. We look at the rest of the starting grid, and Wally's going to jump on the radio, see if he can't get Matt.
See if we can hold Matt. Hey, Matt Kenseth, this is Wally in the booth. You hear me?
I got you, Wally.
Well, you had a good car last night, and we saw a lot of good guys have problems last night. You've got a couple inches less spoiler tonight. What do you think about it tonight for the Cup cars?
Yeah, we had a good car last night, just not so good a driver. So I think the Cup cars will be pretty stable. You know, to be any good, even for a 30-lap run with these small field sets, you got to be pretty loose in the beginning. I think the cars are real fast in the beginning. A run won't be so good as that. So I think they're going to be a handful for 5 or 6 laps. After that, I think it'll be all right.
Normally, I mean, it used to be this place used to get, you know, when it got cool, there's a lot of grip in the track and they got tight. But it seems like it's going the other way now. Look, these cars look like they get loose when this track cools down.
Well, this tire is still awfully hard, you know, for the surface. And the tire doesn't have a lot of heat in it. Doesn't you know, want to have a lot of grip. And when the tire does push, it tends to chatter across the track. So you're trying to keep your car loose so you won't beat on that right front tire too bad.
Well, good luck tonight, Matt.
All right, thanks.
I knew Matt would take a shot at himself there after last night. Had a good car and a solid run, just didn't end up with the finish he was hoping for. See the rest of the starting grid. The cars on the track. Now the rear of the field will pull up and catch the first half. There's Jeff Gordon all the way back in row 21 and Terry Labonte in on a past champions provisional. You see the drivers that did not qualify. Ryan Newman drops to the back. He's in a backup car. A lot of stories on pit road tonight. We'll see what happens. Round 5 of the chase for the Nextel Cup Championship. Scott Riggs bringing them to the green flag. The Bank of America 500 is underway. Bonus points for chaser Casey Kane.
Oh, trouble! Already 1 lap into it. Denny Hamlin goes around. Jamie McMurray goes around.
Almost identical to the Busch race last night. Denny Hamlin is in it. Denny Hamlin, yeah. They're gonna.
Jeff Gordon.
I think Jeff just stopped. I'm not sure he got in it. There's a lot of those guys just quit, you know, when they were wrecking there. So Gordon looks pretty clean. Denny Hamlin's in big trouble. He's got a lot of damage to that car, and BP, this isn't one of those places you can just do a patch job and get around this racetrack fast. I mean, it's a body, you got to have the body right on this car.
I saw Robbie Gordon in the 7 car. Did you ever see Robbie Gordon come down and make contact? He gets loose, and somehow I think behind him they started checking up, and Denny got ran in the back of, I'm sure.
Well, what happened? The 4 car, Todd Bodine, got loose in front of Robbie Gordon. I think Robbie Gordon had to check up.
Oh, man.
Denny Hamlin got turned
by the 49 car of Mike Bliss, whom Bliss goes head on in the wall.
The field is
Jeff Gordon did stop.
The field being brought down pit road. Pits are closed. Here's Denny Hamlin.
Not much you can do when you get run over in a situation like that.
He's still getting run over.
Into him. Yeah.
On board with Kurt Busch.
Everything's cool. Check out. They're wrecking all over the place. Everything's cool behind you. About 1 high, 2 low. Just slide back up. Just hold on right there. Going back up high. Just easy.
That's
You see him right there?
Real good job on the spotter right there.
That was a great job, wasn't it?
Good job.
We saw so many of those drivers. We saw Kurt Busch, Jeff Gordon, Biffle, all those guys stop before they got to the wreck.
Very fortunate for some of those guys at the tail end of the field. First caution of the night, 5 bonus points for Casey Kane. He did lead that first lap.
Boy, there was a lot of loose race cars on that first lap.
You know, that's the problem. The tire that and we'll talk about this all night long, the hard tire. And the right side is extremely hard. They soften up the left side a little bit. But, man, when those things are cold, they really are a handful.
Let's check in with Marty Snyder.
And Denny Hamlin has pulled the 11 FedEx car into the garage here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. You can see the experience of the Joe Gibbs Racing team. Obviously have championships with Bobby Labonte and Tony Stewart. They already have a frame straightener back here. They had a complete crash cart ready to go in case this would have happened. They obviously did not expect it on lap 1, however. A lot of damage to the right rear of the car, also to the left front of the car. They're going to try to get those two things fixed and get them out as quickly as they can. I doubt Denny even drops the window net. He has yet to do that so far, but a lot of repairs to make on the 11 car, but it looks fairly repairable at this point, guys.
Thanks, Marty. So it took a lap before trouble unfolded here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Denny Hamlin, one of the men in the chase for the championship, taking a big hit. Most of the cars took fuel only. Told 2 tires for the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
So who was the first car that stopped? Scott Riggs in 5th position. First 4 cars chose not to pit, but they did make pit stops with all the caution flags earlier. So
Raines, Newman, McMurray, and Terry Labonte stayed out during that caution period. And tires may not be an issue for them, BP, but because of the smaller fuel cell, which is used here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway, that's where they could be in trouble.
yes, that's right, because the fuel cell here at this race only holds 14 gallons of fuel. Normally they hold 22 gallons. That's why they chose to pit at 17 laps. Normally they probably would have stayed out until the next caution or to run a full fuel stop at 22 gallons.
Riggs and Kane get by Terry Labonte. Now Clint Boyer, his teammate Harvick. Harvick in the 29.
Yeah, you'll see Scott Riggs and company getting to the front in a hurry right now. Now they got some temperature on their tires as he goes past McMurray.
Kevin Harvick won the Busch Series championship for 2006 last night. And now he's chasing the cup, Matt.
Absolutely, Bill. Started the night out only 33 points out of first place. Now, the RCR guys said one thing they learned about last night's Busch Series race, that you have grip, 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 and then the grip goes away. But Harvick told me right before the race that he did venture up high a couple times, and there was grip was more of an aero issue, getting air taken off from another car off your spoiler. His car, though, a little free early on. They made a track bar adjustment to try to improve the handling of the 29.
See these two guys going out right here. Jeff Burton in the 31. The high side, 42 car, Casey Mears.
And then you see Scott Riggs, that 10 car that was fastest in qualifying on Thursday, going for 2nd spot on the inside of Ryan Newman. We watched that 07 car of Clint Boyer walk to the garage area and ask the crews, okay, who's fast? And they'll talk about Kyle Busch. 8 car, Dale Earnhardt Jr. they talked about. And almost every one of them has an afterthought. And that 07 car, he is really good.
It's not a matter of if somebody's going around.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, we saw it last night. Like I said, these cars are they're on the edge every second of every lap, and it just doesn't take much. Hey, B.
Well, talk a little Kyle Busch while he's on the center of the screen there. The 5 car comes into this race 10th in the championship. Kyle said he thought he was done with his championship chance after Dover when he fell out of the race with an engine problem. Then he said they sat back, watched what happened at Talladega last week, regrouped, looked at the points and said, you know what? maybe not. Let's go out and get maximum points tonight and see what happens. Of course, you get maximum points by winning.
Yeah.
And up front, the 9 of Casey Kay. Now, he just reported to his team as you're watching Kevin Harvick trying to hold on that position with the 19. Casey's teammate Sadler in the 5 of Kyle Busch. Casey says the water temperature in the 9 has climbed to 240 degrees, thinking there may be some debris on that grill. So we got a battle for the lead between the 986 and the 10.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just a matter of time. These guys got fresher tires on. The lap times are quite a bit quicker.
First time that Raines has led in 2006, but Riggs takes it away. And Kane will try to follow him through.
Tell you what, Tony Raines hung on pretty well there. Quite a few laps. New crew chief on that 96 car. Brandon Thomas has taken over.
The names in yellow on the ticker at the top of your screen are the 10 drivers in the chase for the Nextel Cup Championship.
And giving it up yet either. Still hangs on to second place. And he gives it up.
Matt on car 9-6.
You're seeing the 96 just lost that position, Bill. He can't run on the bottom down in 3 and 4. That's where he's starting to lose that edge to Casey, so the car just gets way too tight. But what a great run these guys have had. He pitted back on lap 6. And like we saw last night in the Busch race, a lot of guys went a lot of laps with their tires before they finally pitted. We're seeing that heat cycle issue really come to fruition here.
Riggs leads. A couple of stories we're keeping our eyes on. Jeff Gordon runs in the 21st position. Denny Hamlin in the garage after getting damage after the first lap of the race. 99 is headed to Allen.
And he's going to be followed down pit road by the race leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Bill. So hoping that this race stays green for a while, both Carl Edwards and Dale Earnhardt Jr., so that they cycle back into the same pit stop schedule as the other leaders. And now that you've run a full fuel load on the car, you might as well take 4 tires on the machine. You see Dale Earnhardt Jr. far down pit road, just beginning the long haul here and having to be very careful not to violate that pit road speed limit. That would be a big no-no.
Come on in here.
Under the green flag.
There you go.
Being coached into the pit stall by his crew chief, Tony Uri Jr. You see they're going to put 4 tires on the car here and try and get Jr. out and then pray for continued green flag racing. Matt?
Greg Biffle in the 16's already pitted. They took out 2 tires. The car was a little loose as the 12 is on pit road. You can see right side tires going on. Chassis adjustment already completed. 4 tire change as people start to cycle in the tires. You're going to see a lot of scuffed tires going on to Marty Snyder.
With everyone else pitting, Reed Sorensen decides to come down pit road. Again, the race car extremely tight. They again fabricated a new piece for the right front fender, but under green flag stops, kind of hard to do that. They're going to do their best they can to pull it out. 2 tires and a round of wedge in the right rear trying to loosen them up.
Problem with that fender, it's broken up just under the head where the headlight would be, so it just goes around the racetrack flapping.
Yeah, once he gets up to speed, that thing's going to roll right back in. That arrow will push that fender right back in.
Marty?
Yeah, guys, they talked about the fender being rolled up, and that's why they were really hoping for a caution. They've done a lot of work on this new piece they want to put on that right front fender for the 41. But Jimmy Ellis told me, listen, we're just trying to keep it in the top 20 right now. I know I have a good car if I can just get that right front fender fixed later on.
Hey, Marty, they don't want to wish for a caution flag too hard.
Well, not now, BP. Before they wanted a caution.
But you know why they don't?
Why's that?
Because usually when you really want one and wish one,
it's you.
It's you, that's right.
And if you look at that fender right now, it's already blown back in underneath that tire.
Not very good.
No.
Earnhardt, Edwards, Newman, Biffle, and Sorensen did not stop when the caution came out on lap 47. So Riggs and company have about 12 extra laps of fuel before they'll have to come to pit road. Again, using a smaller fuel cell here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. And you get the feeling in the garage, the teams say that's not necessary anymore. There's a fuel cell change for next year anyway. Try and make it universal at most of the tracks. Be a little larger than what they're running here tonight, a little smaller than what they use at most other tracks.
See, David Gilliland in the 38 car going a lap down to our leader, Scott Riggs. David currently running in the 26th position.
19 on pit road. Here he is, Marty.
Yeah, Bill, we talked about their struggles just trying to get this race car to turn a little bit better for Elliott. They're going to make a track bar adjustment on the car, and they just really have not been able to hit on it. He said getting into the middle of the corner, that's where he's really losing all of his time. It's going to be a 4-tire stop for the 19, but trying to make the car a little bit better. He's been able to hang in the top 10. Like to be a little bit better than that. Matt?
Casey Kane follows his teammate down pit road, making his way to his pit box. Look for the Dodge boys to do a right side tire change. Scuff tires going on. It's been a lot of final practice scuffing tires to AB.
Scott Riggs pits from the race lead. Going to be a 2-tire change on this 10 car, just right sides.
So both the Evernham cars taking 2 tires.
We'll have to see how that works out. These guys taking 2 and Earnhardt Jr. taking 4.
I tell you what, Casey Kane almost caught that commitment line cone when he made his entrance on the pit road. That would have been disastrous.
Riggs almost got run over there by the 4. Jimmy Johnson in the 48.
And there's Junior right there in the 8 car.
Watch this. Oh, there's Boyer to pit road. He has a long way to travel before he reaches his stall. 24 is on pit road, Dave. Here comes Gordon.
Yep, he is coming in right now. They're going to put 4 scuffs on Jeff's car with no changes to the car. The car was going away, Jeff thought, but then he realized that guys with fresh tires were passing him. So not too bad right now. 4 tires, no changes. Alan.
Gil Martin has called Clint Boyer on to pit road in the 07 car. He had taken the race lead just before that for 1 lap. A 4-tire change here for Boyer. And a little bit of overheating there as the car sits on pit road. Matt?
And we're waiting for the 29 to make his way down pit road. The teammate, there he is. Kevin Harvick's team looking to put right side tires on while some guys are going scuffs. Harvick's team looking for stickers. Now Harvick went back and forth during final practice with scuff and stickers. Felt like there really wasn't much of a change.
Jeff Burton is on pit road. 4-tire change for him. Air pressure adjustment for a tight race car. Casey Mears also on pit road. A 4-tire change for him. Casey's car pretty good right now. No changes to it.
These green flag stops occurring right now. Lap 88.
Turn in.
Jimmy Johnson got 5 bonus points. Now he's on pit road, Alan.
Yeah, going to be a 4-tire change here for Jimmy, and that's an important note, Gil. Through that sequence, both Kyle Busch and Jimmy Johnson led 1 lap and collected 5 bonus points toward the championship. Johnson's crew going to top off the tank and a smooth stop.
Alan, I can't believe how much brakes that Jimmy Johnson is using. That right front brake rotor was just cherry red. And you think, well, maybe it was coming down pit road, but I don't know how it would have gotten that red that quickly. And a lot of brake dust when he took that right front tire off.
Yeah, that's something that really gets the guys that change tires have to really focus on what they're doing. When they hit that air gun and it blows all that dust right back in their face.
That's a pass-through penalty right there for Kyle Busch. Too fast entering when he came down a moment ago for his pit stop. Very costly mistake. Here comes Matt Kenseth. Another visit to you, Dave.
And Bill, I think he led a lap out there or 2.
He did.
So that strategy worked out for them. This is David Gilliland coming in. His race car is still tight. He says the front is not working. The rear's working pretty well. They're going to go ahead and make a chassis adjustment, change 4 tires for Matt, see if they can get that rear working as well as the front right now.
And then they decided to go with 2. So you talk about 2, you talk about 4, then you do what the crew chief says.
When they tell you to go, you go.
Dave?
And that was a stay near the lead lap because remember they were running in the back of the line before they were the leader, so they want to make sure they didn't keep him on pit road too long.
As a matter of fact, we saw the 10 car, the leader, going by down the front stretch. Now Kenseth just pulls up on the back stretch. Here comes 10 off turn 2. So he's going to be barely in front of the 10 car on the lead lap.
Carolina native Jimmy Johnson out front in the Carolinas tonight, approaching the 200 lap mark in the Bank of America 500. Pit stops beginning. Tony Stewart's on pit road. Marty.
And Bill, the green flag stop start. Tony Stewart on pit road. The car a little bit too tight for Stewart. They make an air pressure adjustment. 4 tires. These guys have really struggled tonight, but they've been getting the car progressively better throughout the evening.
Sterling Marlin also made a pit stop in the 14 car, and I heard Chad Canal say 4 laps till Jimmy Johnson comes on the pit road with that 48 car.
Johnson, Kane, Gordon, Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt Jr. 5 chasers running the top 5 spots.
AB twice. Kevin Harvick has gone to victory lane in night races, trying to make it number 3, but he's lost some spots 2 different times. They're going to make a track bar adjustment again, trying to work the tightness out of this 29 car. They called an audible on the last stop, went 4 tires, they're going 2 this time. Marty?
Mark Martin told his guys, we need to keep being aggressive with these changes. It's gotten much cooler as the evening has gone along, and Charlotte, traditionally a very sensitive racetrack to the weather. A little bit too tight for Martin. Pound on the left rear tire and a round up on the track bar. Alan?
Haven't caught any more conversation from Carl Edwards on his team radio about that vibration. They're going to pit here for tires. Be a 4-tire change for the 99 car, and we expect the leader on pit road in a moment. Dave?
Jeff Gordon in right now. They will make a 4-tire change for Jeff. His car was a little bit tight. They didn't want to make any major adjustments on it, though. Jeff was happy the way it was coming around. Alan?
Jimmy Johnson is on pit road. Nice stop last time on pit road. Got him the lead off the exchange of stops. Going to be a 4-tire change here and a chassis adjustment for the 48 car. Jimmy's front end grip a little bit lacking as that run went along.
Good pit stop. Great pit stop to these guys.
Johnson heads back out. Did it look like on the 29 they dropped the lug nut on that rear tire?
Looks like something happened on the rear tire, yes.
Earnhardt Jr. on pit road. Alan?
Yeah, this will be a 4-tire change as well, Bill. A lot of these guys thinking ahead. Take 4 tires here. You might have to take fuel only or just 2 on a couple stops down the road. Set yourself up to have track position at the end of the race. You see Earnhardt Jr.'s crew around to the left side as well. Dave?
Jeff Burton's taking 4 tires. Again, another pit stop for these guys. More pit stops, smaller fuel cells. The team's just trying to keep their rhythm up all night long so they can keep their cars in contention. Burton's off pit road.
Just hold your breath, waiting for the speeding penalty to be handed out.
Well, a lot of guys that have been coming in have been smoking the tires right before that line. And you just got to be real careful. The thing is, you got to be careful about locking those tires up if you're only going to take 2.
That's right, because you flat spot the tire and you need to change it. Alan, 07 coming to you.
Got Clint Boyer here, and he is out of fuel. That car has coasted in, not under power, so they'll try and get the fuel in it, and he will try and get it refired. Can't get it going yet. They'll change all 4 tires, and then they'll have to try and push him away, but because he's pitted so far down towards turn 1, he doesn't have an awful lot of time for them to get it fired. There it goes. It's just caught now, and he's slowly, haltingly grinding away.
But just see, and it's tough getting running. That cost him at least 8 seconds, 9 seconds on that pit stop.
It still costed him. Casey Kane, your race leader. 07, Clint Boyer. Too fast entering pit road. So if he was out of fuel,
he had no idea how fast he was going because his engine wasn't turning over.
Alan?
And the problems continue to mount. He has no first gear in that car either, which is why he was chugging away from the pit stop.
I can't tell how fast I'm going.
Exactly. You check your pit road speed by first gear. If that's what he did,
right,
he's got no idea how fast he needs to go down pit lane.
And I wondered about him brushing the wall with the right side, and obviously that was not the case.
But he got pretty close.
Right side still looks really good.
See, he was unclear on what he was supposed to do.
Right.
Just have to do a pass-through penalty for a speeding ticket. Earnhardt Jr.
takes the 6th position away from Sterling Marlin. Mark Martin still has the cars run. Points leader.
And look at that. Top 9 within 140 points. 125 to go here at the Lowe's Motor Speedway. Casey Kane is out front, and it's Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Carl Edwards, Mark Martin, and Junior. There are 12 cars on the lead lap. Just a moment ago, and when they got the one to go, Earnhardt Jr., Harvick, Kane, all topped off. This is when it usually gets ugly.
Yeah, I was going to say, when the caution comes out, these guys will all get their lap back.
And Casey Mears, 42, evidently did not get a good start because the 99 just blew by.
Now, he did get a good restart. He went to the outside, but the door got shut. He had to get on the brakes. So that's what happened. He lost a spot doing that.
There's Edwards. He leads.
Oh! Almost in the back of his teammate in the 17 car. That inside line did not go as Carl expected, and Mears, 42, goes back by him. Here comes Burton, 31 by the leader to get a lap back.
And that Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 car is in second, so that's the race for the lead. Caution came out in the middle of a pit stop sequence. That's what puts guys on the tail end of the lead lap. Casey Kane in that 9 car is third.
Now, Carl had 4 new tires on his car, so his car is probably going to be squirmy for a couple laps, where the 31, 42, their tires were probably up to pressure. They had a couple laps on them before the caution flag.
But he'd also like to get by these guys. He'd like to keep these guys a lap down. Who's that, Jeff Burton that slid up?
Yep, skated up the track.
He'd like to get by these guys and keep them a lap down like Jeff Burton, because he knows these guys are fast, but if he can keep a lap down, it's going to be good for him. Whoa. Sparks coming off, looks like the 20 car. Tony Stewart.
Mears, Jeff Burton, Marlin, Vickers, Green, Stremme, Stewart, Kenseth. Trying to get a lap back.
Man, this is so scary.
You're driving hard all the time, but you're driving even harder now.
This is what you're looking at, going down into turn 3.
Casey Kane in that 9 trying to get the lead from the 99.
Junior slips up the racetrack a little bit.
Oh, Kenseth loose in front of the leaders. They were 3 wide. It looked like for a second off turn 4.
Casey Kane goes by.
His car looks loose too, the 42. That 99.9 again, right behind that. There's your race for the lead. Side by side. Kane has it at the line. Allen.
Carl Edwards has said nothing on his radio since this restart. He's obviously a little busy, but the non-stop chatter on the radio is from Bobby Hudson, the spotter that works with the driver up on the roof, giving Carl information on where the traffic is around him with the limited visibility out of the car. Matt?
Casey Kane running a little higher than he has been most of the night. He's been on the bottom more than he has his usual place up top. He's worked his way into the lead. Remember, they made that spring rubber adjustment. It has helped the race car really come to life more than it was. The main winner back out front.
It doesn't look like Carl Edwards can run that high line. He's trying to get underneath the 42. He's trying to get behind the 42. Casey Mears close enough where he can loosen him up. He doesn't want to get in the high line.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I said, why in the world don't he dive to the outside like Burton has, like Casey Kane? Evidently, the 99 just doesn't work well up there.
Trying to close in on Edwards.
Yeah, I'm surprised Junior hasn't gone to the top yet, because normally he'll start working that top. See if he can get by a guy.
Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Bobby Labonte, Kyle Busch, Tony Raines. Would love to see the caution right now. Those guys all at the tail end of the lead lap.
Finally, looks like Edwards had position on him, but no. Mirrors close it. Well, this time the 99 goes by.
Junior would be next, Alan.
Yeah, and important to remember here, Junior's team chose to stop and top off their fuel tank with a lap to go before the restart. That restart came at lap 251. So that leaves about 80 laps to go, which if this race runs green to the finish, maybe they can stretch it into 240 lap runs, where a couple of the other guys they're racing with, the 9 has been a little shorter than that on fuel mileage all night, and Carl Edwards, the 99, did not stop and top off there.
And something for the NASCAR Nextel Cup, Casey Kane, the 9 car, has lapped Jeff Burton, who is the current leader of the chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup. So caution flag comes out. He will not be able to get that lap back, and Burton would be back in the 10th position.
But he would be the lucky dog as of at this moment.
That's correct.
Until Casey puts another car off the lead lap. Dave.
That's right. That's what I was going to say, Bill. And then the race will ensue as the leader passes more cars. One thing to catch you up on, the problem Jeff Burton had on pit road, one of the things Scott Miller was shouting to him was that you should not have been out of fuel. They think it might have been a carburetor issue, and Jeff is making sure before restarts or before he lets the RPMs in that car go down at all, that he really revs the engine to clean it out and make sure that the carburetor is sending the fuel through correctly.
There's the race for second. Edwards, Earnhardt. Stremme is in 17th. He is 2 laps down in that 40 car.
Stremme, that 40 has been fast tonight, but once again, it's all about timing.
Just 70 laps to go, and so many factors are going to play into determining the finish of this race. The Bank of America 500, where Casey Kane leads. Johnson, the race leader, 28 to go. Sterling Marlin was the lucky dog. Jimmy Johnson, fuel only.
And, you know, we saw earlier, BP, we talked about, you know, Jimmy Johnson's car looks like it's better when it gets a lot of laps on the tires. I think that's one reason they didn't change tires, because their car's pretty fast right now, so we'll see if Casey Kane can do anything with them.
Casey Kane, the 9 car, also did not change tires. Junior, back in the red 8, he changed 2 right sides, so.
And Carl Edwards in the 99 took 4. He restarted 7.
Kane was there. He's got to run now. Getting off of turn 2. Would really like to pass him on the high side.
Casey Kane in that 9 car has led 108 laps tonight. He has clinched the 5 bonus points for leading the most laps.
Was he going to leave it open?
Man, does he get a run on the outside.
Jimmy saw him there. He's going to go up in front of him and decided not to. Not maybe all Casey Kane needs right there.
I think the question now is if the 8 can get around Johnson, if Earnhardt Jr. can hang with the 9. But Kane has been so strong. There you see the championship standings as they run.
It doesn't look like anyone can hang with the 9. Because Jeff Gordon talked about the problem with Junior in the 8 car is that arrow push. With these hard tires, when he pulls up behind the 48, he's going to lose the front end and slow down in his speed.
And the reason that the 9 car doesn't have that so much is because he's running a different line.
Jeff Burton runs 4th, championship leader by 40. Story developing there, Dave.
Vibration, thinks he has a loose wheel. Ask the crew, tell me if you think you got them tight. Say yes. He's been having trouble hearing his crew all night. They radioed back, yes. So he's going to stay out. We'll see what happens.
Well, with 07, 29, both those team cars had vibrations with transmission.
You said it's not getting worse?
I think that's what he said.
Dave?
And BP, what you're referring to with the transmission, Jeff was told that his teammates were having transmission trouble and to baby the transmission on pit road. So they're still deciphering that, but you're right. It is a children's thing tonight to watch your transmission.
Matt Kenseth in that 17 car is 14th, 2 laps down.
I'll tell you what, that 31 might be vibrating, but it's fast.
Yeah, fastest lap. That last lap was turned by the 31 car of Jeff Burton.
Speeds at the line this time. Kane is the leader, then Johnson, Earnhardt, Burton, and Bobby Labonte runs 5th. Chasers in the top 4 spots. Kyle Busch up to 7th. Kenseth in 14th. Harvick in 18th. Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin are out of the race. Denny Hamlin is 29th. Alan?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. came on his radio, very disappointed tone of voice, said his car's lost its front end grip. The 2 tires did not hook up like they wanted it to. There was a big debate between Jr. and Tony Eury Jr. on the radio before the pit stop. The driver wanted the team to just change the left side tires. He thought when they did that earlier in the race it had worked better for them. Tony Jr., the crew chief, decided they needed to stay with their plan for right side tires. Right now, Dale Jr. is losing contact with a couple cars in front of him.
And Burton's going to challenge him for that spot. Laps to go. Casey Kane, the race leader, and pulling away. Now almost a second in front of Jimmy Johnson. Kane trying to sweep in 2006 at Charlotte.
And guess what? He stayed out of trouble, and here he is with about 15 laps to go, leading. But Jimmy Johnson, that 48 car, it's not easy for him because they're both running about the same speed, and Johnson just 3/4 of a second behind Kane.
Update on Casey Kane from Matt.
Bill, if he just got the Good Hands Driver's Award, his spotter and cousin Cole Kane should get the Good Hands Backseat Driver Award. They told him under the last caution that when you get up to lap cars, just swing to the outside. We feel like that's where you are losing most of your time when you're trying to work through lap traffic. But right now, he has the advantage of about 7 to 8 seconds before he starts reaching lap traffic again. So he's got that clean air out front.
I think this is where we'll see if Jimmy Johnson's got anything for him, because they've run long enough. I think Jimmy's car looked like one of the better cars on long runs. So now's the time. If he's got anything, he's got to go right now.
Last time by, Casey Kane just a tick faster than Johnson. The lap before, Johnson a little faster than Kane. AB, how about this 48? What are they saying?
They're not saying very much. Chad Knaus just calling out Jimmy's lap times to him. I was just thinking back to the Coca-Cola 600 here in May, BP. Remember how that one finished? Casey Kane was leading. As the laps ran out, Jimmy Johnson was closing on him. Just ran out of time to make the pass and catch him. We're getting down to the final laps here. We'll see if Johnson can make another rally, and this time see if he has enough to get past him.
That time by, they ran almost identical speeds. Jeff Burton, as a matter of fact, the guy in 3rd spot was faster than both of them. The guy in 3rd with the vibration.
I was going to say, he's got some good vibrations, huh? How about it, Dave?
He has said absolutely nothing on the radio since the check with the crew. Remember what happened there. Scott Miller pointed to his tire changers, Joe Zielinski and Aaron Smith, and asked them, did you get the lug nuts tight? They nodded yes. That was radioed back to Jeff. He has trusted them. He drove past Dale Earnhardt Jr. and remains in 3rd.
Kane leading Johnson. Alan talked about the finisher in May. Casey winning, Johnson finishing 2nd. Jimmy won at Indianapolis. Those are his only 2 top 5 finishes since Memorial Day weekend.
Now traffic, they're starting to catch some traffic. Don't know who that's going to. Well, that didn't help Casey Kane because he wanted to run high.
That's Denny Hamlin. Was involved in a wreck at the conclusion of the first lap of this race. His 29th. About 69, 70 laps down. What are you working on, Alan?
I just want to throw one more thing out there about Kyle Busch, Bill. We've talked a couple times about the great rally they've made, getting caught a lap down a couple times tonight. Well, on the last caution flag, they came in, made a 4-tire pit stop, went back out onto the racetrack, and Kyle ran over a piece of debris and had a flat left rear tire. So they had to come back down again under the caution, drop to the end of the cars that were on the lead lap after changing tires again. And here he is rallying his way up to 6th and trying to get into the top 5. What a drive tonight, and overcoming some big obstacles for this team.
It's a very determined racer inside that 5 car. And so young.
Yep, they've done it.
And so good.
Yes.
They have done a good job, haven't they, Wally?
Johnson trying to close in on Casey Kane with 7 to go. And we talked about Johnson winning 5 of the last 7 here. His other 2 finishes were awful. They were 2nd and 3rd.
Well, I think right now they are running time almost exact. Jimmy Johnson needs a little bit of traffic to help him catch Casey Kane. But these cars just spread out pretty good right now. Normally when you get down to this time of the race, the spotters are real good telling the cars that are lapped more down that the leaders are coming and they're racing. And they usually get out of the way.
I tell you, that last lap, Casey Kane, somehow, some way, picked up 0.2 of a second.
Laps to go, this time by.
How do you do that, BP?
I don't know.
He looked in the mirror.
Scratching my head trying to figure that one out.
5 to go. Casey Kane, 5 wins this season. Had to race so hard to get into the chase. Won the race at California. Made the chase at Richmond. He and Johnson have had some terrible luck in the first 4 races, but both of them trying to turn it around tonight.
We got to give a lot of credit to that Jeff Burton. You know, one bad finish down at Talladega last week where he had a flat tire. He was running, I think, 5th when he had the flat tire, finished 27th. But he has been just so consistent each and every week. How about Johnson, Alan?
He just got word from his crew chief, Chad Knaus, on the radio, who suggested they're running second. It doesn't look like they're catching the leader. Maybe throttle back a little bit and ensure their second place finish. Make sure nothing goes wrong in these final laps, trying to push it hard to catch the leader when they're not really making up any ground. Dave?
You know, Jeff, a lot of people gave up on Jeff Burton 2 years ago, including 6-year-old Robbie Richardson from Oxford, North Carolina. Sold all his 99 gear at the family yard sale at greatly reduced prices. Went over to the junior camp. Well, since Jeff got in the chase this year, a lot of his friends, now that he's 8 years old, have been giving him a hard time. And believe me, that's happening in the NASCAR world. Jeff Burton is back in a big way, and he's brought Richard Childress back in the chase.
Been a very impressive run for Burton and all of Richard Childress Racing this year. Casey Kane, 26 years old. One of the bright stars in the sport, drives for Ray Evernham. Really, a couple of weeks ago, rode himself out of the chase. But tonight he's trying to race his way right back into it. White flag, last lap at Charlotte. Ray Evernham watches.
You know, a week or two, they probably thought, nah, you know, we're out of this thing. Nope. And now they're going to look at those points after tonight and go, you know what? We still have a shot.
And we're pretty good on those 1.5-mile tracks like Atlanta and Texas.
Got a few of them coming up.
Yep.
And Homestead.
Yep. Casey Kane looking for win number 6 and trying to improve his status in the chase for the championship. Casey Kane sweeps at Charlotte.
Congratulations, Casey. You made it look kind of easy out there as much time as you spent out front. How was it from where you sat?
We just had a great car. This Mopar Dodge dealers, your AW Dodge Charger was unbelievable all night. Kenny Francis, this whole team did a great job. I got to thank the transmission, the rear end guys. I slammed it into second one time coming on pit road, and I thought I had to have broke something. So they built a great piece. The engine was awesome, the body. Everybody at Evernham Motorsports has done a great job, and it's hard to win a race that Ray Evernham hasn't won as a car owner or a crew chief, and I think we got one tonight.
There you go. You did something that hasn't been done before. A couple of things. You had a couple close calls on pit road. There were a couple situations in the race where cautions came out in the middle of pit stops and that kind of thing. Any concerns at some point that this good car might go to waste?
Well, this car's been good 2 other times and went to waste at some point, so not really. I mean, we had some close calls. Kenny did a good job calling me in and out. It's so tough getting 2 and no tires, and these guys just did a great job. It's an awesome team. I'd like to thank Allstate Insurance, Siemens, Stanley Tools, McDonald's, Bosch, Freightliner. A lot of people are a big part of Ebony Motorsports, and we definitely thank all those people.
A real quick championship thought. Second last week, the win this week. You are 160 points out right now with 5 to go.
We're making ground. You know, we lost a lot early at the start. Things happen. We're making ground now. We're down to 160. We've cut it, you know, maybe just about in half, but it's good. I mean, we're doing everything we can. We want a top 5. We want to do everything we can, win some more races, and we'll see what happens. But I think we definitely have the team behind me to do it.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.